Others will be criticizing me. Others will be criticizing you. Others will be harder on myself. You'll never know how I truly have felt. Makes you wanna say, this thing really does suck ass. Makes you wanna say, even things from the past. Makes you wanna say, this is the worst thing I have seen. Makes you wanna say, what the fuck, Marine? What the fuck, Marine? What the fuck, Marine? What the fuck, Marine? What the fuck, Marine?
So it's not worth the investment. The second item is a heart that regains your health. What is your health indicated by those traditional fake Valentine-looking hearts when the heart you find is the birds girl we're talking about? Now you'd expect her to use a slingshot to shoot rocks or something, right? But no, she throws the fucking thing. Yeah, check this out. Look, I'm gonna hit you with a slingshot. So, it starts to wear on your mind very quickly. Every level the trees are different, but overall the design is basically they somehow managed to choose the most repulsive patterns. Don't you wish there could have been a more appealing texture and hue rather than this? Even something as simple as walking can't go without glitchy side effects. Past narrow spots, sideways, as if Little Red Hood exists in a two-dimensional space, while jumping sideways into a...
Awaken, you heathen.
5 more minutes.
Wake up. You've done well with your last task, where you took orders something pathetic and insignificant as a jelly bean, but I had to do something with him.
What do you want?
Destiny 2.
What possibly could you want with Destiny 2?
Last time you dealt with Destiny 2, your review put a hole in the time-space trajectory. Your review caused the collapse of several timelines, forcing me to go to the future in several dimensions and fix what you caused. I had to watch loved ones fade into nothingness. Innocent people sacrificed their lives to save others from falling to the dark time pit. The fall of the Avengers and the Justice League. The woman I love ceasing to exist. No one even remembers her. I struggle to remember her face. I can't remember her name.
Are you serious? Is that why you made me and Brady go to the future?
I had to track down what caused it. It was your review, Marineman, and now you will set things right. Review the Witch Queen and fix the mess you caused. Rectify your mistake. I'm not the bad guy. I never was. Tomorrow's the 22nd, the release of the Witch Queen. And I know you won't disappoint me.
Okay, so I've been playing the new Destiny DLC for a few days now, and I have to say I'm impressed. Before we get into the meat of it, I have to lay some ground rules. I'll be using gameplay that Tony has recorded for this review. You can catch his streams on BG Marineman, that's all one word, BG Marineman, on Twitch. If you miss any streams, that will be uploaded on the channel so you can get the initial reactions to see how they liked it. Today, though, we'll be taking a more critical look at the DLC. I know what Onyxt said about me talking negatively about the game, causing destruction of several timelines, yada yada yada, all that fucking bullshit. Let's be real here. What Bungie has brewed up here was great, although I still have many gripes about the game. So the main question is, where do I begin? Okay, this is all to my understanding, so I might get some things wrong, and if so, I apologize in advance. I'm not going for a degree in Destiny lore, but there's this bitch and she's like a god or something of what's called the Hive, which is one of the 7 factions that are in the game. They all have their own lore and lists of leaders and important events that span 2 games, with the second game being on the 16th season. Anyway, the Guardians have these powers from what's called the Traveler, which is a god orb thing looming over the last city of planet Earth. Honestly, give it a scary face, and we got Majora's Mask up in this bitch. Anyway, the Hive god is Savathun, and she was frozen for 6 months by Murasov, who is an awoken queen. She did this to find out a way to end the curse of the Dreaming City, and I guess she was hoping Savathun was going to free the city from this curse as she relinquished this worm that's inside her or something. Before all this though, Savathun was impersonating Osiris, a Vanguard leader, also known as the Good Guys, and we only found this out, it was her about 6 months ago, so she got access to all the Vanguard shit, so she used it to take the light. So once the worm was killed, she left the real now in a coma Osiris with the Vanguard and gave the new light powers to her army of Hive faction. And yes, each faction has factions in the factions, which is redundant and stupid to a linear storytelling standpoint, but hey, it works out well to pan out the universe that is Destiny.
And all this to set up the DLCs, and only took 2 DLCs and 7 seasons to even get up to this point. It's fine because overall you get more content, and after the DLC you get about 3 or 4 more seasons of content to add on to that. Each season comes with at least 100 tiers of the battle pass, so not only you get materials for game stuff, but you also get XP boosts to help you level up your characters, level exotic weapons, and the cosmetic for the weapons. There are so many emotes and shit, the story content. Overall, there's a lot of stuff here being offered. My only complaint is the seasons felt like they got longer and longer, and the story content released episodically and ends around 7 weeks or so. We went from 3 months for season 11 through 14, and in 6 months for season 15. Why was it 6 months? The DLC got delayed 3 months. Granted, the developers were working from home, but at least we had the 30th anniversary event to help add content to the game, which added Halo-inspired weapons, which we may or may not touch upon later.
The campaign on Legendary isn't too hard, but at times it isn't easy either. It has higher light levels, a mechanic that's similar to a raid token revive, and Hive or Guardian powers. The campaign overall was good, but if you think I have nothing to complain or critique about, you got another thing coming. First, let's talk about the revive mechanic. So when it's one of those dark zones that we talked about last time, on Legendary each player has a token. They use a token when they revive someone. This is used in raids as well. The thing is, in raids you have 2 minutes, but in campaign you have 30 seconds. When you revive a player, the timer does not reset. So for example, if you revive a player and it takes you 25 seconds to get to them, the next time someone dies, you have 5 seconds to revive them. This causes unnecessary wipes. I wouldn't mind this if there was like 4 difficulties like easy, normal, heroic, and then legendary, but Bungie half-assed it and only gave 2 difficulties, normal and legendary, making your campaign experience, depending who you are, night and day. This is a major gripe. If the timer reset or was longer, it would be fine. Maybe a minute or 2, but 30 seconds when the campaign has areas that are huge and someone dies across the map and you have little chance to save your run. There's this one time you're on a time limit, but it's a dark zone, so if you die, you restart the encounter. This is supposed to be a huge hype moment, but it's cut short because boss health enemies block the way and your first reaction is to hurry past them, but you die. It's stupid and caused the hype to die. Moving on to mobs and enemies, the main focal point of the DLC is the Hive and their new light powers. The thing is, these powers are shallow and only use 1 subclass per Guardian type. Hunters have Solar and their ult is Blade Barrage. Warlocks have Arc, making their ult Storm Trance. And Titans have Void, making their ult the Shield. They only have these ults and have no change. Each subclass for the Guardians, the regular Guardians, have 3 ults. Wouldn't that be cool if the Hunters pulled out like a gold gun or Mobius quiver
Like, wouldn't it be more unexpected for each encounter, especially if they were random? Bro, imagine a Thunder Crash Hive Titan. These all could work well and good with the right implementation and sound cues and kill-free notifications. The thing is, you don't really fight these guys that often. You know who you do fight often? The Scorn. Now, the Scorn was introduced in the Forsaken DLC, and I hate them. My friends hate them, the community hates them, so when the Tangle Shore was getting vaulted, we thought it was bye-bye Scorn. Nope. There's this witness guy, and he's using them for his army. Why? This is explained somewhere, but apparently very poorly since I don't know when it was explained. I barely know who this witness guy is, and he's mentioned a lot. I thought this was a Savathun DLC, not a witness DLC. I wanted to fight the Hive Guardians, not the fucking Scorn. Other characters like the Crow was built up through the past 4 seasons. Surely he'll get a pivotal role in the main campaign, right? If you thought that, you are wrong again. Crow was reserved for the seasonal story content. He got his memories of his past before he was a Guardian from Savathun, you know, the time when he was Aldrin, and nothing came of it in the mainline DLC, which is disappointing. There's this argument that happens near the end of the campaign between Zavala and Ikora, but this was built as false tension, as it's resolved after a mission, where instead of Ikora on comms, it's Eris Morn. Finch is a world vendor and has a slight role in telling you where important objects are, which is fine. It fits, and he's an actual likable character. The thing is, Bungie said they were going to kill off a main protagonist character. The thing is, they can't put the nail in the shit-filled coffin for the antagonistic characters. 2 DLCs in a row, they left the ending open for the main bad guys to come back. One character got frozen, and if she thaws out, she can come back. In Savathun's case, when you kill her in the world's hardest final boss fight, her ghost gets away. Yes, I get it, her ghost speaks on the throne world through hacked radio transmissions for patrols and shit. But really, could there have been a runner-up for that? We secure her body, sure, but the fact is we still have the witness to worry about. Why not move on to them? We know little about Savathun, so I understand not killing her off for good until all is solved, but the thing is, where else would you fight her? Not in the seasonal story content, that wouldn't work. We have Keitel, who did not show up in the main DLC, by the way, as well. There's no room for that. The raid? Her fights were worthy of a final boss fight raid thing, so put her there. Well, rumor has it, at this time I'm writing this, it was going to be a Scorn raid. And yes, it is. Now I'm recording this, I actually played through the raid, and it's mostly a Scorn taking raid. Surprise, surprise. And yes, it's cause everybody wants that, right? Nobody wanted that. At this point, Bungie can go fuck themselves. And the Scorn. So the endgame content is served for Grandmaster difficulty missions and raids. The raids have their own puzzle-like mechanics as you defeat enemies. This is fine. It can be difficult on the start of runs, and especially for beginners. My team struggled with raids for the longest time when we first started, but now we have beaten every raid except for the new one, which uses mechanics from other raids, which is kinda cool. My main complaint is the raid exotic drop rates. Each raid has an exotic weapon that can drop. If you beat the raid day 1, you get the exotic no matter what. But after that, it's a random chance. I've heard horror stories about people completing Vault of Glass over 60, 70, and 80 times without getting the exotic. That's ridiculous. For Last Wish, you have a 3% chance, or maybe 11, I forget the exact chance rate, to get it from the chest room at the end of the raid. Luckily for me, I got it my first try, but if I didn't, I would have to wait a week to try again. If I had other characters, I could try on those for that week, but I don't, so I'm shit out of luck. In that match alone, we got 5 exotics, so it was good. I guess we got lucky. Other than that, the game tests my patience with its RNG loot. I have every rating exotic, luckily for me, except for the one for Leviathan that got vaulted a while ago, so I didn't get that. Divinity was special for Garden. You did a special puzzle run, and you got a 100% chance to get it. I'd rather do this, although it's annoying and somewhat difficult, but it's better than running it 80 times and not getting it. The raids, other than that, are beautiful and masterpieces. Except for Riven's boss fight. Fuck Riven. So what I've played of the DLC so far is good. There's a crafting system now that I have to get a hang of. We still have seasonal story content to get through, and although I wanted Sabbathine to die, she kinda did, her whispers from the past is still here to guide us through certain mysteries. But all is not lost. The raid will be a pivotal turning point for the story, and the DLC gets a thumbs up for me. It's not bad, it's not perfect, but pretty good. You might be wondering what other game types have been updated, like Crucible and Gambit. Well, Gambit has a slight change, and for Crucible though, there has been no change. No new modes, only new maps that have been unvaulted from the past, so they're not new maps, so nothing new in Crucible. So that means PvP still fucking sucks. We won't be talking about Gambit today, but we will talk about PvP. The thing with PvP in this game, and the reason it sucks, is because the sandbox is curated around abilities. Similar to Halo 5, how 343 evolved the player instead of the sandbox. The content in PvP is stale as ever. No new modes. Special modes rotate every week, sure, but they're not new. The game would benefit with a Forge mode and expanded custom games modes. Yeah! Since Bungie is too busy obviously working on content for story and stuff to work on PvP, the community can carry some weight and make some maps. Think of the canvases they can use: a Europa canvas, a Dark Pyramid canvas, a Throne World canvas. It could be endless. Custom games like Exotic Fiesta, where every weapon your loadout's exotic weapon with max ammo. Yeah, that would be fun. It's better than everyone having a new tracking poisonous SMG exotic. It's like giving everyone a needler from Halo, also with unlimited ammo. No wonder people don't like PvP. It's unfair, unbalanced, and stupid. All you do is die, die, and die. Fuck! Damn! Shit! God damn it! Ass! This game's the worst creation of mankind. This game makes me want to stuff cockroaches on my dick. I'd rather piss gasoline. I'd rather work an 8-hour shift a day than spend a minute playing this piece of fuck anal junk. I'd rather stick my dick in Sabbath's jagged fucking light-infested pussy. I'd rather stick Shaq's horn in my ass. I'd rather have Saint 14 headbutt me to death. I'd rather have Morrisov encase me in an icy prison for 6 months just to try to kill me with a frail, stupid, useless kitchen knife. And I love Destiny. Yeah, I love Destiny. It captivated me with its lore, graphics, and atmosphere. The game misses sometimes, yes, but the game is good, great, maybe even fantastic. The leveling system, even though it's RNG based, it's rewarding. The DLCs are always worth the cost, and though I complain about the ending, you know, I probably wouldn't want it any other way. The game is alive. 1 million people pre-ordered Witch Queen. That's insane. Last time I played Destiny, I had a sour taste in my mouth. I didn't pay for the season's content, so my experience reflected that. I missed out. I was dumb. Upon giving Destiny 2 a second chance and investing money into it, I'm confident to say I love Destiny. I could comfortably place this with my top 3 franchises: Kingdom Hearts, Halo, and now Destiny. Bungie plans to give this game a long life. 3 more DLCs are planned to release in the next 3 years. Then, being the end of Destiny 2. It's sad. Destiny, though a little far off,
is coming to a close. There will be a hole in many people's hearts when this happens, including mine. You did it. Your timelines are slowly building together again. There is much work to be done. I can take it from here. Marineman, thank you. This isn't over though. Not until I find her. Do you remember? You remember who she is? Yes. You will too. And remember in time. For now, I believe you have a score to settle with a certain franchise you're passionate about. But for me, I have to go. We will meet again. But until then, goodbye, Marineman. Let your heart be your guiding key.